legt die Hausfrau nachts die Kette vor. Im Korridor steh ich davor, mit der Pfeile ohne Eile keck, weil ich sie weg, da liegt der Dreck.
Guten Abend, Ermittler und Ermittlerin, und willkommen zu unserem video podcast Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our scenario is The Devil Eats Flies. It was written by David Larkin, Mike Mason, and Lynn Hardy, and it's part of a collection entitled Berlin, the Wicked City. It's available from Drive-Thru RPG. Our game master is Keith Craig, and this is episode 4. Our recap will be given by Julian Arba as his character, Max Hoffman. So without any further delay, lass uns in die Dunkelheit riesen. Julian.
It all began as a simple missing persons case, and it's evolved into, there's things at work that I just don't really understand. Anyway, we all decided to research Baron von Kleist to find out what we could before meeting him. Astrid and Hans went and visited the library, and Gustav, Otto, and I visited the Eden Hotel where the Baron was staying. At the library, Astrid and Hans learned, with the assistance of a man with strange wounds, or perhaps extra body parts, that the Baron was a militant monarchist from Danzig. At the Eden Hotel, Gustav watched the entrance while Otto and I went and visited Karl Hans, an associate of Otto's. The conversation was pleasant, and we learned that the Baron had rented the entire top floor of the hotel where he was hosting lavish parties with all sorts of guests. Then Karl claimed he knew me, which was odd since we had just met. He accused me as being the thief who stole his doll and transformed into this fetid, postulated creature that attacked us. Thanks to Otto, we escaped, only to see Karl disintegrate into a pool of liquid on the floor. I suffered terribly from the encounter. What is this doll? Why is it important? How are these creatures related to Grossman? Don't understand. Meeting back up again, we exchanged information, and it was decided to speak with the Count before visiting the Baron. Hans called Count Konstanovich and asked about the Baron, and learned that the Count had never met the Baron. After hatching many plots and fussing with many plans, it was decided that a direct approach was best, so Hans, Gustav, and Astrid went to the Eden Hotel, unfortunately without Anita Berber, to meet the Baron. It was also clear that the company the Baron keeps is lacking, because in attendance was that swine Killinger of the Erhardt Brigade. It was also obvious that the Baron was not just a monarchist, but also a right-wing racist. Astrid was very unwelcome at this party. As they waited on the Baron, Hans overhears a conversation about a bent-legged ogre sighted somewhere within the city, which suspiciously matched the description of a man that Otto chased. Upon meeting the Baron, he confirms that Anna, or Francesca, is there, and allows Hans, Gustav, and Astrid to meet her. Anna presents as a bit frumpy, as described by Hans, and carries the scars of her encounter with Grossman. The Baron and his friends seem to believe that Anna is the Grand Duchess of Russia, and that she can. The Baron does contradict the Count and states that the two actually have met, and that it was the Baron's understanding that the Count was in Paris. So who exactly are we working for? What are his motives? We plan to try and contact the Count in Paris tomorrow. We plan to meet up at breakfast and discuss our next step, but strangely, Otto never arrived, which is very unusual. So we decided to go around to Otto's apartment, and we found him in a very terrible condition. He told us that he had disturbing dreams during the night about an obsidian woman, which matched the description that we heard earlier from a man who had attacked a woman in the park. Upon waking, Otto found himself in a ditch covered in blood without his pants and a dead woman nearby. In a fit of madness, Otto rampaged around the city or in the area, only to come to his senses in a restaurant. He then makes his way home to bathe, and that's when we found him. I can't help but feel responsible somewhat for Otto's experiences. He and I have shared in these horrific experiences recently. I don't understand how these dreams and creatures might be connected, or if they even are, how Grossman fits into this. I just not feeling exactly well at the moment, but I think Astrid and I are going to head down the street now and try to locate this woman that Otto saw.
Excellent. Very good. Nice. All right. So it's probably about 10:30ish when you finally got into Otto's apartment, because you were scheduled to meet at 10. You got briefed up, and Dr. Hans had inspected Otto. He was not sick in any way. He had a couple cuts and bruises on him, and that's where we will join you.
You know, Otto, I don't. So far, I've seen very little, but it seems more and more like you're saying there's something very supernatural going on here. You and Max have both mentioned the doll, and you told us about the doll. The very first thing you found inside the sculpture was the doll. What if somehow that is has some sort of magic spirit to it? Maybe we should obtain the doll and burn it in the fire.
I think that I don't know that I believe in supernatural.
Yeah.
But I don't either.
It might simply be that I am mad, and perhaps Max is unwell also, or it is the influence from my madness that has confused his senses. He doesn't even really remember seeing Karl-Heinz in the cellar. Maybe I hypnotized him or something. That said, I think that I am completely willing and even eager to burn that evil little hut down and that garden and everything inside it. If the woman who run the place isn't a monster, like the one I thought I saw, she's still a monster to have kept that like a little shrine to him and his evil.
Yeah, we smashed the shrine and we burned the doll. I don't know if you want to start a fire in the building, but...
It's a little building and there's gardens all around.
Oh.
They have ways to water the plants. And they... you must realize, Hans and friends, at this point I have very little to lose, yeah?
Maybe I go over there tonight and do exactly that. There's a hammer and start a fire.
Yeah, well, you don't go alone. I tell you this.
If you put your mind at rest, perhaps, and perhaps put this man's evil spirit to rest as well.
Okay. So, were Max and Astrid going to head out?
Yeah.
Oh, as you open the door to head out, you see the newspaper boy delivering the Otto's daily stack of papers that he wants. He looks up, he goes, "Oh, you startled me." He's like going, just the daily papers."
Yes, hand it to your boy.
He hands it over, and Astrid, since you took in, give me a spot hidden.
I passed. Hard pass.
All right. So you see this article there on the front page, and it grabs your attention because it mentions Charlottenburg, where you were just at.
Disturbance in Charlottenburg. Readers of this paper may recall a report of one Anna Tchaikovsky, currently in residence at the home of Baron Arthur von Kleist, Kammerstreich 11, Charlottenburg. Scandalous as it is our sad duty to report that Fraulein Tchaikovsky was this past evening attacked in her residence by a servant of the Baron's household. The maid, who has subsequently been dismissed, came at Fraulein Tchaikovsky with a knife, but was fended off by friendlier hands present at the time. Fraulein Tchaikovsky is reported to be uninjured, but quite rattled, as is understandable given the circumstances. Oh my God. We ought to let the others know about this right away before we go investigate the body.
Well, thank God I warned them. I told them she was in danger. Well,
Yeah, I feel pity for this poor maid who probably had no control over what she was doing.
Do you think she was possessed?
Well, I feared already that, because this Anna is on the list of Grossman survivors.
I find it hard to believe that Grossman would have so many accomplices in this that would be in just the right place at the right time. I don't believe in the supernatural either, but I'm beginning to.
Dr. Hans, you are a man of science. I am a strict materialist. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in any of this nonsense, the opiate of the masses, the superstition. We are coming out of this age of superstition. But if you believe that there is something outside of our natural world that is happening to these people and is happening in this case, then I am willing to believe you.
I think maybe, I agree with you on so many points. I think that perhaps it's like this, the people in old times, they didn't understand the science, and yet they understood the operation of how it might work. Perhaps this is something that is still science, but we just don't understand how it's working. Maybe the brain energy from Grossman was so strong and evil that it has attached itself to this doll, I think. And somehow it is infecting people.
I'm afraid it's not just a doll, of course. I don't think the maid's all a doll. I just think that's this connection to poor Max.
The sausage,
and perhaps
maybe.
myself. The sausage, maybe. Or blood sacrifice has some other power, maybe something even with the river.
We don't know how it works, yeah.
We don't understand, yeah.
But we can still treat it as if we do.
Hans, is there any sort of way that you could perhaps hypnotize a person or give them a drug which would make them susceptible to suggestion that they may do unspeakable things?
Well, from my understanding of mesmerism, hypnosis, that you're not supposed to be able to make somebody do something they don't want to do. Drugs, on the other hand, you can destroy a person's psychological makeup almost completely, but they're usually, what do they call them in the East Indies? Zombies?
Yeah.
They might do what you tell them to do, but they're not normal. I don't know.
Some drugs burn away parts of the brain.
Yeah.
But what are we to make of these strange creatures and odd deformities that we're seeing around?
Well, that's a very important question. And Hans, you didn't see any cyst or something. I know I have this scar that is a bit grotesque on the leg and hip, but there's no extra eyeball on the back of my neck I can't see. And I would like to find this maid who has only been dismissed for some reason and not arrested for attempting an attack with a knife. So maybe we find her if we find out if she's like a rotten sausage on the inside, or
Maybe we all stick together from now on.
that's one other thing. If I don't kill myself during the day or die attacking this haunted garden, I can't sleep alone tonight. I have to be chained to the bed, and there has to be someone watching. I'm not going to wake up.
For the sake of our comrades' good well-being, I say we go to that place this evening and we burn that hut and we smash all the fetishes and destroy any dolls that we find. Then fight off any monsters that might come after us.
All right.
Listen, I'm all for the destruction of private property, but you know we must be careful to avoid any undue attention from the police force.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the night.
Yeah, my friend won't be able to help us there if we're caught doing that.
Well, if I make it through the day without being arrested for the murder of this lady of the evening, that would be a small miracle in its own right. I made quite a scene of myself. I didn't cover any tracks that I know of. Who knows how I behaved before I even took this poor woman into a culvert and cut her into...
I mean, if we're sure that if we're sure that what happened last night wasn't you, Otto, then maybe we should consider giving you an alibi.
In what sense do you mean it wasn't me?
Well, I mean, if truly what you say is true and that you weren't yourself when it happened. I mean,
I had no control over it, but the werewolf has no control over it. It's still a werewolf. There's only one way.
That may be an impression that somebody's trying to give you. Maybe they murdered the girls and they left you there to make you think that you did it.
It's the sharpest knife from my butcher block is missing. I left the house without my cane, which I never do. Possibly, well, I think I had my pants on when I left. But I took the knife with me. I mean, she took the knife with me in my body when she took me to find this woman.
What if somebody came here, broke in, drugged you, and did all this? We just don't know. You're not the kind of person who goes killing prostitutes.
No, in fact, when it comes to Brussels, I have, my standards. I have a house I go to. I don't know this woman.
Yeah. So we were going to go see if we could find the body. Let's all go together. We could say some strange man broke into your apartment, stole the knife.
And just a thought before we move on. I was thinking about this. Anita and Astrid have claimed to have had these weird dreams where they weren't in themselves, yet they haven't done anything. They've still been themselves, and yet we've had Otto and this I'm starting to think this man that I witnessed might have had the same thing happen to him, where he wasn't in control of himself, and then he came to, and a woman's voice box was in his lap, and I was screaming at him.
I also had such a dream like this.
Yeah.
That I was murdering.
Okay,
someone.
well that's interesting. Well, that said that. So you're somebody who's had the dream, but you haven't done anything yet.
If we are thinking about this case day and night, maybe that's why we're having the dreams.
So it's not just. So some people get the dreams and they don't do anything.
I had the dream, and I had the other vision of the
Right.
dark woman.
But so far, it seems that Anita and Hans and Astrid haven't attacked anybody.
Let's go together.
Yes, let's go.
Except I don't know that I should be seen at the scene of the crime. So if there's something
would you like to stay here, or would you like to meet us perhaps at the cafe?
I could stay with him.
Okay.
You're going to get to see a monster again. I'm going to be here all alone with him. And there's no monster.
Maybe we're seeing a monster right now.
Take a camera. Otto, do you have a camera?
I have a camera.
All right. Please take some
journalist.
pictures. Have some evidence.
All right. So Astrid, Max, and Gustav are now headed to the Andreaplatz.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So you go there. Who has the best navigate?
Ooh.
I don't. I
That's
just
a rare
base.
skill.
I've got 45.
Ah, okay.
That's probably pretty good. All right. So I'll let you give the roll on that.
All right. Okay. I got 49. So I'll can I spend the 4 luck? I'll spend that.
You certainly can.
All right. We'll go
All
to
right.
66 luck.
So, hey, that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
So based on the description that Otto gave you, kind of in his state of mind that he was at, with a successful navigate, it takes you about, once you get there, about 30 minutes to find the culvert. It was kind of in a hidden away place. Astrid, give me a luck roll.
I did not pass.
You did not pass. So this prostitute, you recognize her. She was one of the girls that you had been helping out. And
Okay.
so the luck, so that's definitely a little disturbing. Gustav, you being working with law enforcement, you
Yeah.
recognize this is what you would be called a lustmord, a sexual assault murder. And for Max, when you're looking at it, her face, she looks like your mother, which is quite disturbing.
Is she an older woman?
No, she's a younger prostitute. It's only Max that sees her as her mother, as his mother.
Oh God. Okay. Where's the closest police station? And I'll go report it.
Probably a few miles from here.
Oh, okay. So
But before Astrid goes anywhere, I want to look around and see if I can find anything that might be Otto's, like the knife or anything that I could identify as belonging to
Okay.
Otto.
Right. Yeah.
So you're gonna search around.
Yes.
Okay. So as you're looking around, you do find the knife. Disturbingly, it's kind of by her body, and as you're kind of looking there, out of the knife wounds, you see a tongue kind of come out like.
I kind of back up a little bit.
Astrid and Gustav don't see this, of course.
Okay. I back up a little bit and I point out the knife, and I say that I found the knife that belonged to Gustav. Should we
Yes.
take it or leave it?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Otto. Yeah.
We should take it to protect Otto.
Okay. This might be strange, but would one of you all approach the knife and get it for me?
Sure.
I'm getting a weird feeling from this body.
I'll take
I
out a
don't really want to
handkerchief.
get too close.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah. I'll take out a handkerchief and approach and try to pick it up with without using my actual hand. To,
Okay.
Put my fingerprints on it or get my get all over it.
Yep,
What are those? Yeah.
Understood. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. No problem. You pick it up. No problem.
Well, I've got it. So does it look bloody or is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. In fact, the end's probably broken off from where it hit the bone. It was such violence.
What should we do with this?
God.
Throw it in the river?
I don't have any better idea.
Chuck it somewhere it won't be found.
All right. You can easily do that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, and then I guess I suppose we should head to the police station now and inform them.
Yep. Yeah. If it looks like there's really anything else around, then I agree.
All right. So you guys head out. Max leaves his mother lying in the ditch. Yeah. Oh, it takes you a bit to get to the police station. It is crowded. You do hear that there's a few reports of murders throughout the city. Not all of them are less more, but more than you would anticipate. Oh, well, even one is more than you would anticipate, but there's at least 3 distinct less moored killings being reported.
Oh my God. This is an epidemic.
What the hell's going on around here? I mean, it's like what did that Max? What did you say that lady said? That crazy lady who attacked you.
The one with the doll.
Yeah, she said something about the whores, right?
Oh yeah, she wanted to see all of them dead, all of them.
Do you think that potentially that this that's what's going on, is that something is targeting these women?
It certainly seems that way. I mean, it's a very, very specific group that are being targeted. Are the reports that are coming in, Keith, are they all from the same area of the city, or are they kind of evenly dispersed around?
They're probably kind of in the same area of the city because this is this one district's police station.
Oh, okay. Yes, I certainly would guess that there's a connection between all of the different victims going around. Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be. Something's going on here. This doesn't quite line up. There's more here than what we found.
I suppose it could be like a group of vigilantes who are running around the city in an attempt to clean it up in their perverted way of viewing things.
How do we explain Otto? How do we explain him being next to the body? That was my first thought too, Max, was that this was just some targeted hatred towards this group that traditionally has been hated and despised and murdered. But I fear there's something else going on here. I'm not quite sure what.
No, I certainly don't understand anything, actually. It's all very confusing. And I guess we need to determine if anyone actually saw Otto in the ditch near the body.
I'll assume you guys are whispering since you're in a police station, not just throwing Otto's name
Yeah.
around in the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our friend Otto!
Sick mother. All right. So
yeah.
When you go up to the desk and say you want to report it, they say, okay, it'll be a bit before Inspector Krieg is able to get to you. He's the one lead detective on the case. But we'll cut back to Hans and Otto. And you guys are hanging out in the apartment. Were you guys wanting to accomplish anything?
Make us some soup if that's what you want. What do you think of all this?
Is there something useful we can do, or shall I start opening my cognac early? I have a little bit of a shake. Or is there somewhere we should go, or something we can talk to?
I don't know. I'm kind of interested in going back to talk to the Baron and say, I warned you. Yeah, you stopped the... We got to find out. We got to see if we can make a phone call to Konstantinovich.
Oh yeah, that would be of interest. Keeper, I think it's unlikely that I would have a personal telephone. There might be one in my building, though.
Yeah, more likely in the building, but yeah, a personal telephone. With your credit rating, no.
you know.
Well, if you want to accompany me to the phone, we could try.
Yeah, give me a minute to get dressed. What do you wear on the first day that you were a murderer? I guess black. I wear black.
Red, probably, but
Well, the blood starts red but dries black, so.
we don't know that you are a murderer yet.
I think even when I began to remember something, my memories are not very clear, but I think that the way I found this woman and myself, there's no question that was the physical actor of this event, even if I was not in control of myself.
You know, so many times, if somebody is trying to murder another person, they don't usually get away with it without some form of injury. The woman scratch you or punch you or damage you in some way, and I didn't find any marks on you at all.
No, I got a little bunked up, just, bull and china shop in the cafe. So I can't tell you whether one bruise. I mean, it's true. I in the bath I looked, I didn't find any bite marks or something that looked like a woman's scratch. But
So,
if I start with the knife fast enough, I mean, the other fellow got a voice box out of his throat.
let's keep our minds open until we actually find out what's going on. Because even so, perhaps the evil spirit of Grossman has infected you and caused you to do this, and once we can purge him, then you are safe. And it wasn't you, it was him.
Yeah. Until then, I'm going to need a great deal of laudanum to sleep it all tonight. But we have a telephone in the sitting room. I will knock on the manager's door to say we're making a call to Paris, and it's from my room.
All right.
Okay. So you go down there, you call the Paris directory. They're able to patch you in. His home where he's living is not in secret or anything. But it's still going to take, a little bit of time to get a hold. So, but eventually the phone does answer, and you do hear a Russian voice. He's like, hello, this is Prince Kostinovich.
Yes, Prince Konstantinovich. My name is Dr. Hans Vogelscheucher. Do you know me?
No, should I?
I don't know exactly how to say this. I'm a private investigator in Berlin, Germany. And we were recently hired by a man who is claiming to be a you.
An imposter.
Yes, and we have just seemed to figure this out. This is why we are calling, to make sure that you are there and not here.
Yes, I've been here. I've been here for a long time. I've avoided Berlin. There's the Bolsheviks' presence there is getting too strong for my taste.
Hans, ask him if he saw the paper about Anna Tchaikovsky.
Yeah, did you see the paper? Well, that's this morning. Not sure that would be in the Paris newspaper, but last night a young woman here was attacked.
That's dreadful.
She is named Anna Tchaikovsky. Do you know this name at all?
I have heard of that name. Yes.
Have you ever heard of the Baron Arthur von Kleist?
Yes, I met him a while ago. He was a Polish police officer. He wanted to become Russian royalty, but
there is a woman in his charge, Miss Anna Tchaikovsky, who we have some reason to believe may in fact be a member of the Russian royalty who escaped the Bolshevik Revolution into Poland and then came here to Berlin.
Oh. Well, she needs to get out of Berlin. It's not safe. The communists are constantly fighting in the streets.
Well, she is under the care of the Baron, and the Baron is an imperialist militant. He despises the communist.
Yes, but my impression, now this is a few years old, was the Baron was he would be an imperialist, but he's more also opportunist for himself.
Perhaps. In any case, this woman who may or may not be the Grand Duchess Anastasia is in his care.
Oh, well.
And I'm so sure, since you are in fact Russian royalty, you will have some way of taking care of this problem. I don't think that we are going to pursue this any longer, but we are going to pursue this Konstantinovich imposter.
Oh, yes, I appreciate it. He's like going, if you could expose the imposter for what he is, I would be able to reward you. And if you could bring this Anna to me, I would be most grateful.
Now, we'll see what I can do. We can't. We don't exactly have the authority to take a woman if she doesn't want to go. But
ask him about the swastikas.
Yeah. Do you know was the Grand Duchess familiar with the symbol the swastika?
Oh yes, her mother was very fond of it. She considered it a good luck charm.
A good luck charm, yeah.
Before it became associated with Aryan purity.
No, well, that nonsense is just beginning. Yeah, so I think that you probably should know the people to contact to get in touch with whoever about this woman. She's calling herself Anna Tchaikovsky, but we have seemed to trace her a bit, and some of it might be substantiated. I don't know. Wow. But this person who we think is the imposter, he is trying to find her, and I think that is what we need to prevent now. Well, he may be a Bolshevik spy.
Oh, the fiends!
I suppose the Bolsheviks would have no hard time getting medals to give us, yeah, to be a fake Konstantinovich.
Probably not.
Yeah.
They come off dead bodies quite easily.
Well, thank you very much for your time. If I have any developments that I find out about, I will call you, if that's all right.
That most all right, Dr.
Vogelshoika.
Vogelshoika. The German name. I'll never get it down. But
maybe we should give him some number also, or a place where he can write a telegram.
Here's where you can get a hold of us as a Beobachter. It's sort of our headquarters. And I give him the number.
Right. Yep. He takes it down.
Beobachter 55392. All right. Very nice talking to you. Thank you very much. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
But now we know. Should we track down this? Should we get the police and track down this imposter?
Well, we have to find out. I think if the only way we can assert to the police that he has committed a crime is if he is presenting himself to everyone as Prince Konstantinovich. Maybe he just does that to us. Maybe in the hotel registry he's something else, yeah? But if he's writing checks as Prince Konstantinovich, then I think we can bring in, 20 coppers.
Yeah, I think also, yeah. I don't know exactly how to go about this. Might have diplomatic immunity. I don't know how that works here.
Well, while you guys are considering that, we'll cut back to the police station. So, Max, Gustav, and Astrid, you do get escorted in to see Inspector Krieg. He is again in his trench coat, and he's got a perpetual cigarette, and he's got ash all over his lap. And as you come in, he looks up. He's like, Gustav, good to see you. You must forgive me. I'm quite busy right now. What can I do for you?
Well, good to see you too, as always. No worries. Well, it's rather unfortunate. My associates here and we seem to have stumbled upon a body.
Oh, well, I wish I could say that was a something different, but
Right.
Unfortunately, the past few days those have been stacking up like cordwood.
Inspector, are these bodies showing up all over the city, or are they targeted in certain areas?
More out around the city. I haven't been able to map out a pattern. No, I mean, we've had a lot near the Andrea Platz, but it was a popular dumping ground with the river being there, and unfortunately, some of our more desperate women citizens are there, and those are, of course, the more vulnerable. But there have been some in the suburbs, even.
Suburbs, you say?
Yes.
Are they
So they're
all
alarming.
Are they all sex workers? Murders?
No.
No. Okay.
Are they all women?
Yes. They're all women.
Damn.
I know you're very busy, and we'll let you go after we file our report. But I was wondering, the man that Dr. Hans Vogelschluger and I investigated, has he been acting strangely recently, or is he still as placid as ever?
No, he's been quite. If all prisoners were as well behaved as him, our jails would be much easier to maintain. He's been very withdrawn.
Yeah.
So much so that I've had people checking on him about once an hour to make sure that he's not hurting himself.
Yeah, I would definitely be concerned
Smart.
a higher risk for suicide for him. He seems quite distraught about his involvement in that murder. Gentlemen, do you have any other questions for the inspector?
I have one question, if I may.
Yes.
Have you noticed anything about the individual murders that could possibly link them back to a singular person? Is there something that's similar?
You have to understand that we can't divulge all of it because we need to watch out for false confessions.
Of
But
course.
we do believe that they are one person. There is a rather disgusting pattern.
Okay.
And if you guys want, you can get a psychology roll on that.
Sure.
Or
I would like to do that.
yeah.
Ooh, yeah, I got a 7.
Astrid, you passed also? Max? No, Max?
I failed that one.
All right. So, Gustav, you get that he is holding back, but you get the feeling that he's holding back for the reason he gave you. But you do get a feeling of complete revulsion in the detail he's holding back. That is quite disgusting.
Astrid's gonna kind of turn on the charm a little bit and see if she can get some more answers, and she's just going to let's see, she's gonna accidentally drop something and pick it up like very slowly.
Oh yeah, and you're a very attractive woman by your appearance there. Yes. Yeah. Sure. Give me a charm.
Okay.
I'm not sure you'll want the answer.
Okay. No, I didn't pass.
Yeah.
He ignored me.
Maybe he's not ignoring you, but it's not so charming enough that he wants to reveal that. Yeah, he is attractive, but
Okay.
all right. And then as you are sitting there, you see Killinger come in. He kind of strides in. He looks up, and Inspector Krieg looks up. He's like, "Manfred, good to see you again." And he walks over, and he sees you, and he definitely, whether or not he recognizes Astrid or if he just passes over you but he recognizes Gustav. He's like, "Oh, you were the man at the party last night."
Yes, indeed. It's good to see you again. I see we have a mutual friend, it would seem.
Oh yes. Well, the law enforcement, big supporter of it and all. It's very fortuitous. I ran into you. We're your doctor friend. I was wondering if he's around. We had a incident last night that we wouldn't mind having a doctor maybe check out our guest.
Sure. I mean, I could definitely relay a message. I'm not quite sure where he is at the moment, but we'll definitely be meeting up with him soon.
Okay. Well, we'll be at the at the suite where we met.
Okay.
Well, come on by. Tell him it's urgent. That the Baron will be quite happy to recompense him for it.
Wonderful. We'll do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Another
Much
one.
appreciated.
And he points at Max, and he's like, "Another one of your inspector group."
Yes.
Yes. Oh well, it's good to see people working for the benefit of the Germany. He's like, "I look forward to seeing you later, Gustav." And sorry, I missed your name there, sir.
Oh, my name is Max Hoffman.
Well,
Pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure to meet you. And then he walks off without speaking to Astrid at all.
Well, thank you, Inspector, for your time. We always appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
So I guess we'll head out and file our report and
Yeah.
then head back to Otto's. Okay.
Yep. All right. As you're headed back, Hans and Otto, did you want to do anything else before they get back?
Then we are having a bit of an argument. Not so much an argument, but I'm outraged that we have had a fraud perpetrated against us by this imposter who is interfering in what we are normally supposed to do. I want to get a couple of police, go find this Konstantinovich and accuse him of public fraud, and have him arrested. Otto is concerned for his safety, and that is understandable.
In fact, Hans, it's not only that I don't feel comfortable running out to find some policemen just at the moment. It's also that, I mean, in fact, maybe if I show up to the police and say, "Look, we have this fraud here," it's a good distraction from where I was all night. Yeah. But I'm uncertain about what laws Konstantinovich might have broken by lying to us. So I don't want to go and inform him that they suspect that he has been misleading when he can make an excuse and get away. And the other thing that concerns me, and it confuses me, and maybe we'll go as Astrid to the library again. The newspaper suggested that everyone knew that Anna Tchaikovsky was this Baron von Kleist. And so why does this fake Konstantinovich come to us and say, I think she's in town. She might be using the name Anna Tchaikovsky, but I can't find her. You should find her for me. See, this makes me very suspicious that we don't understand at all what's going on.
Yeah.
If you have to
Okay.
see if in the news, if in the high society pages, it's this von Kleist. He's got Anna Tchaikovsky in his flat.
Yeah.
Right?
What if we've just been being led around as a distraction from something more important that we're missing? Let's wait
And
until the others get back at least.
All right.
yeah.
And no sooner than you say that, Max, Gustav, and Astrid show up, unless you guys had wanted to go somewhere else. I didn't get the impression. All right.
So when they come inside, we explain to them what do we feel, and all of the things that have gone on.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, okay. I don't know how to attack this imposter Kostinovich issue.
That's terrible to hear. I mean,
Yeah. And anyone that's got a law of 50 or higher, 50% or higher.
my law is 30.
Oh, okay. All right. You can still make a law roll.
Sure. No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
But I mean, that's rather unfortunate. We might be out of work. Except for Hans. Sorry, go ahead.
There's one bit of good news on that front, because if we have the fake Konstantinovich here, then the real Konstantinovich says he'll give us some payment. And if we find that this is the real Konstantinovich and we found Anna Tchaikovsky, then he gives us payment. So we actually have two princes.
Okay.
One of them is going to pay us.
Right.
And one thing we can do is just go to the hotel, maybe without a policeman, and find out who is supposed to be renting that entire floor that we think was Konstantinovich, but we never.
Right. And in addition to that, it seems that Manfred is, of course, rather buddy with the police. He's friends with, my acquaintance, my friend, Inspector Krieg. While we were there and reporting the body, he showed up and he mentioned, Dr. Hans, there's apparently something has happened at their suite. There's a patient. They've requested, your help.
Oh.
It's likely Anna Tchaikovsky. They want you to go.
All right, I'll go.
It's either Anna or it's the maid who was dismissed, but maybe she has strange lesion.
Hmm.
But it's nice, they trust you. You made a good impression on them, even
guess
though
so.
Astrid came along to get a schnub.
Yeah, I will go. Does somebody want to come with me? It's so much for us sticking together, but
I wouldn't mind going since they already
all right, good stuff.
you already recognize me. Yeah.
You come with me. The rest of you stay here. See if you can figure out what they're trying to distract us from. Something is going on underground, and we are missing it.
Of course, I have to ask about the visit to the culvert. But is there nothing new to learn there? We can just assume that I am told what I fear. There's blood and my footprints, but then they disappear in the mud and then they got out of the knife. There's no news, right?
No, there's no knife. They found no knife.
What knife?
Come on, Gustav.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe we go to the library and see if we can find out how long the newspaper has been printing about Susanna Tchaikovsky being in the hotel, this Baron author. And maybe, yeah, we find, I mean, we know he's got a scar just like mine, but that's all we know.
All right.
I don't really want to sit around the apartment. I'll just smoke and drink until I'm useless.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right. So, Max and Astrid, were you going to join him at the library? Go see your friend again?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Great.
All right. How long?
My urban friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
you had your
find out whether Max, if the librarian says, "Oh, you're the doll man."
Yeah.
Watch out for that.
It'd be interesting to see if this happens in public.
Yeah, it certainly will. I will, while we're all together, I asked you to do a very strange thing for me. When we were in the gutter, the woman looked very familiar to me. She actually looked a lot like my mother. And then when I approached her, I noticed that one of her wounds, something kind of came out of it. And I don't know what it was. But that's why I backed away as quickly as I did.
I just assumed you were shocked by the horror. Well, my God.
It was too soon for that to be like our rat in the body, I would think, with daylight and everything. Was it like a rat you saw?
No, I didn't actually get a very good look at it. It looked like a tongue that came out and wiggled a bit. And I was concerned that something might develop, and so I got away from it.
Max, my dear man, have you read very much Freud?
No, I've heard of him.
I will have to take you. We'll check out some of his works from the library. I think that might be quite insightful for you.
Also, I can say, when the bodies, I've seen many bodies from battle, yeah, and they are not as still as you expect. There are gases and fluids, and very quickly the things move around. So probably you just saw some death belch moves of a little flesh from one place to another.
Yeah,
but the woman that I woke to was much too young to be your mother, I would think.
It wasn't an exact it was just a resemblance. You see someone and they kind of look like someone else, and you say, oh, they look familiar. That's more what it was. She had facial features which
I'm sorry that it chose her. I wish we could find out whether that woman was on the list of surviving Grossman victims.
Yeah, the inspector was a little bit tight-lipped about some of his information. So we did learn that there have been many murders last night and recently, and the inspector does believe that there is one person committing all of these murders. There's something which he would not divulge, which is similar in all of the murders.
Well, I only have one knife missing.
Yeah, and I don't think you can get around the entire city.
And that's the other thing. He says these murders are happening all over the city, even out in the suburbs.
Yeah.
So we know he's mistaken about whatever hunch he's got.
And she was indeed a sex worker. I knew her from my studies.
Well, do you know her name?
No, I don't remember.
There are so many women.
Yeah.
So we'll do you guys go to the library, and then we'll do that, and then we'll move on to Hans and Gustav. So you get to the library. Again, it's a enormous building. As you go on in, it is a different librarian working. It's a woman, and she looks up and smiles, but lots of people come in and out of the library.
I'm going to go up and ask, excuse me, miss, there was a very helpful librarian here the other day. He wore a turban. I was wondering if he was working today.
Oh, no, he works in the afternoon. You're speaking of Johann.
Johann, I see. All right, thank you. Is he well? He seemed a little ill to me the last time I saw him.
Oh, well, I mean, we're not close. I mean, he must have maybe a fever. A chill. He was definitely, the turtleneck was new.
Yeah.
But good on him. His dedication to work is unparalleled. That he'd come to work still sick is to be commended.
Crawl in before you call in, eh?
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Well, we could you please show us to the newspaper area?
Oh, of course.
Did you see the piece by any chance, Miss, from the morning's Berliner Zeitung about the attack on this Anna Tchaikovsky woman?
What was the headline? I don't read. There's so many papers in Berlin. I can't keep up. I just skimmed the headlines really, and if they didn't grab my attention, I like more of the gossip.
Well, this is a bit gossipy, which is interesting because it's this Gerron von Kleist who has a suite at the Hotel Eden.
Oh yes, I do remember something of that. Yes,
and it said like
she's living with him, right?
Yeah, and it's a little bit saucy, as they suggest, right? They're not an unmarried couple, and she's staying with him, and she's Russian, and he's Polish, and they're living
and
very
royalty too. Quite scandalous.
Yeah, I do remember that was in yesterday's paper. I think is when it came out. Yes.
Yeah. So it's new news. That's why.
Yeah.
Because we only found out yesterday also that this woman is staying there, and we have a friend who's interested in meeting her. It's all very, business of the rich and pompous stuff,
I understand. It's over here. She brings you over, and there is a paper that has the article that Dr. Hans was unsuccessful in finding with his rolls.
Grand Duchess Anastasia alive and well in Berlin. The city's white Russian community is humming with the news that a woman claiming to be the Grand Duchess Anastasia Romanov, she's claiming now, is living here in Berlin. The woman who calls herself Anna Tchaikovsky was recently released from the Daldorf Asylum and remanded to the care of Baron Arthur von Kleist, who served the Tsar honorably as chief of police of Russian Poland until the revolutions of 1917 forced him to flee, like many of his compatriots, to Germany. Miss Tchaikovsky, who is said to resemble the Grand Duchess in appearance and bearing, was admitted to Daldorf in 1920, having lost her wits in a fall into the Landwehr Canal, a fall, they say, in February of that year. She claims that her memory is slowly returning to her, although many details remain unclear. The Baron, who resides in a spacious third-floor apartment at Savany-Platz in Germerstrasse 11, asks that the public respect Miss Tchaikovsky's privacy at this time, as he attempts to help sort out the truth of the matter. So we were very close. And now our fake Konstantinovich has surely seen this newspaper. And so either it's he who sicks the maid on poor Anna, or this disorders that makes people attack survivors is the reason. Which makes me think again, we must find this maid.
Yeah, but how? How would we go about finding this woman? I mean, maybe Hans can find out her name.
Oh, this is what, now that he's going to see Anna and see if she needs treatment, he's got to find out what happened to this maid. I think they chopped her head off and dumped her in the same river with my knife.
But was she employed by the hotel or personally by the
That's
Baron?
a good question. I think the article just said maid.
Yeah.
So I imagine she was on the personal staff, which is another reason I wonder if it's not the sickness instead of this Konstantinovich. Because the sickness can get...
The Baron seemed quite protective of her and kept a watchful eye on us.
Oh yeah, you said he even had you, had your bodies checked to make sure you were safe.
He was
but the
quite
maid
paranoid.
had trusted for years.
Yeah. He was quite paranoid.
It's in paranoia, but it's true.
That's right. All right, so Hans and Gustav, you arrive at the Eden Hotel.
Here we are again.
Yes, well, hopefully our visit will go a little bit more productively than last time.
Yeah. Well, we found out a lot.
Yeah.
So this time we'll just walk in.
Yeah.
We know where to go.
All right. Yep. Ride the the elevator up, and you get there, and the door to the suite this time is shut.
Okay. Knock, knock, knock.
Yeah.
The door opens, and out steps this German man in a uniform, and you recognize him as the man at the cafe that drew the swastika on your table.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at you, and he's like, "Yes."
I am here to see the Baron. He has summoned me. I'm Dr. Hans Vogelscheucher.
And you are?
It's my assistant, Gustav.
He goes, okay. What is your opinion of the Kaiser?
The Kaiser's dead. What do you mean,
but-
what's my opinion of the Kaiser?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you support the Kaiser, or do you support this government that is in charge now?
Why are you questioning me, this? I'm not here for politics. I'm here because I was summoned to do an examination.
And you must understand that we are quite nervous about people getting in after the incident last night.
I was here last night. That's why he summoned me.
I'm friends with Manfred and Inspector Krieg, and while I was speaking with Krieg, Manfred personally asked Hans and I to come.
I did not realize that. Just a second. Name, please. Sorry.
Gustav Huberman. And
Huberman.
Vogelscheucher.
Vogelscheucher.
Dr. Vogelscheucher.
Manfred will know who we are, I assure you.
He goes in and shuts the door. You hear some questioning, and then you hear the Baron's angry voice. Yes, let him in immediately. He comes back, and he's definitely a little, he's like, I am sorry. You can't be too careful. Come in.
So, you see, as it turns out, my warning was good. I'm glad. The woman's not harmed.
Yes, she is not, but she is returned to not speaking anymore.
Okay. I should also inform you that this fellow that originally hired us is in fact not Gabriel Konstantinovich. He spoke this morning with the prince in Paris. So whoever this is who is here, who is claiming to be the Prince Konstantinovich, is a fraud.
Oh, most disheartening. Come in.
Possibly somebody who is attempting to find her, to perhaps he sends a woman.
Who knows? We will definitely find out who this is. This is.
I come in to examine her.
Okay. When you come in, you do notice that there is quite a large probably about a dozen men in the Earhart Brigade uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
You do see several guns, rifles leaned up against the wall, and a box marked grenades. So they bring you in, and he's like, please, anything, coffee?
Coffee would be nice, thank you.
Hey, Erwin, get the doctor coffee. He's like, come in. And he brings you back into the bedroom where Anna is sitting, and she not knitting at all. She's just kind of staring down at her feet.
Okay. Hello, Anna. Do you remember me from last night?
She doesn't even look up this time.
Okay. Well, I speak a few words to her, and then I say, if I'm going to examine her, you need to leave the room.
He's like, of course. He steps out. And Gustav, where are you going to be hanging out?
I suppose should I do the same, Dr.
Step
Vogelscheucher?
just outside the door.
Okay.
Call me if
give
you need.
him an examination.
Okay.
So I try to get her to stand up.
If you like, kind of give her
take
not
her
like you're
hands
lifting her, but like, yeah, she'll kind of follow your
Right.
your lead there.
Everything's all right, and I'm very calming and reassuring, and say I'm a doctor, a medical doctor. I would like to examine you, and I start to go over. I start to examine her.
Okay. Give me a medicine roll.
Okay. 5.
Oh, that's probably pretty good. Oh, I thought you said you rolled a 5. I was like, wow.
Actually, I got a 63 out of 65, so I just barely
All right.
passed.
So a regular success. She does start reacting to your examination. She is unharmed, so you do not get the feeling that she was actually physically hurt in the attack. She goes, "Oh yes." She's like, "I do remember you from last night.
Yeah,
You were here briefly."
there are people who it would seem would want you to be harmed. We are trying to prevent that. I've warned the Baron. He was able to protect you, so you weren't harmed last night, which is very fortunate. You are in the protection of people who are concerned for your safety.
Oh, it's like I just remember her eyes. Her eyes seem so familiar.
You mean the woman who attacked you?
Yes, yes.
Do you remember how they feel familiar to you?
They're beady, almost like they bugged out. I mean, I it's from a time ago when I saw them. I suddenly my arms and hands it started hurting again.
Yeah,
Where these scars are at.
yeah. So the memory of traumas you've had in the past. Tell me, Anna, do you remember farther back? Do you remember when you were a child?
Do you have any psychoanalysis or?
I've got psychology.
Okay, yeah, you can give me that.
20 out of 35.
Okay. She's like, I remember waking up under dead bodies in a basement. This soldier, Alexander Tchaikovsky, he saved me and spirited me away. He was such a wonderful man.
Well, I don't see anything physically wrong with you. You need to eat some food. Get your health up. The people, they are beginning to believe that you might in fact be the member of the Russian imperial royalty. Have you heard them saying this?
Oh, I am.
You are. You think you are Anastasia.
Yes. Of course, we must keep this in the strictest confidence.
Well, I think they have put it in the newspaper. So.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
I don't think that it's in the strictest confidence anymore. But if in fact this is the case, then I am glad to have met you, Grand Duchess.
Oh, it is. You are so kind. It's so nice to meet a kind face.
Now, if you need anything, you can talk to the Baron. The Baron can get a hold of me. I'll give you my card just in case. This are where we usually hang out, the Beobachter, but it's got the phone numbers there, so you can reach me if you need me.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. You can come in.
Opens the door. The Baron comes in. So, Doctor,
She's uninjured. I got her speaking. She needs some food. Keep her health up. she seems to have just been traumatized by the events of the evening. What can you tell me has happened? What was this one of your regular servants?
Yes, it was. Trudel was her name. She was. She would bring tea. She was bringing tea service in, and then she dropped the plates. Anna started screaming out that she'd seen her eyes before, and then Trudel said in a voice I didn't recognize, "So is it Miss Sanzovsky? We have unfinished business, you whore." And then she grabbed a knife and charged at Anna. Fortunately, I was here with Manfred, and we tackled her down.
Did the woman demonstrate any strange body modifications as you attacked her? Something that would be extremely bizarre. I should tell you, this is not the first time that I've heard this. Don't hold back. Tell me what you saw.
It was almost like her. It must have been a trick of the light, but it was almost like her shadows was that of a man. Trudel was a very voluptuous woman, and her shadow was a stooped over skinny without long hair.
I suspect some things that are too fantastic to discuss yet. I think there must be another explanation, but please keep her safe. I have a question for you. This might be helpful. Do you have any members of your staff that are vegetarians?
No.
No.
That's a good question.
It's an odd thing to say, but if you have people around her, I would suggest that there either be people who are not from around here, have not lived around here for the past few years, perhaps. And if you can find them that are vegetarians, then I think they would make better servants, better assistants. I'm beginning to suspect it has something to do with sausage.
Sausage?
Yeah.
What? Well, you are the expert, Doctor, and you've restored Anna to better than I've been able to.
Yes.
So.
If you need anything, call me.
Okay.
You can get a hold of me as a bear doctor. Or if you have anybody else's phone numbers, they can usually find me somewhere.
All right. Thank you. And as you're walking out of the bedroom, Gustav, as you're kind of hang out there with a group of militants, the door opens and in walks Manfred, and he calls out, he's like, "Baron, here's the man that I've been telling you about that you must meet." And in walks your original hirer, the Prince Kostinovich from Berlin. He comes in, he sees you, he kind of stops, he's like,
Imposter! Imposter! I start yelling.
Imposter!
Yeah.
Imposter! Imposter!
Yeah, like you're not the real prince.
Gustav, Lise,
I'm not stopping.
I told you my disguise was too good. And they both start kind of laughing, and he's like, "Don't worry, Miss Gustav, I will pay you. You successfully found her for me." He's like,
Well, you said there are other people around. Do they do anything when we start screaming imposter and pointing at this guy?
Nope. No, because Manfred, he seems pretty confident about him. Von Gillinger, and he goes, let me introduce Peter. Let me make sure I get his name right. Peter Shableski Bork, a true patriot of the imperialist court. He nods at you. You guys can give me a no roll to see if he's there. If Astrid was there, she would know him immediately. But
I got a 5.
oh, nice.
This is a no roll?
Mm-hmm. Your education.
Oh, okay. Yes, I passed.
All right.
So what was the name again? Sorry.
Peter
Peter
Shableski Bork. He is a member of the Russian Hospitaller Knights. He is most famous for gunning down Vladimir Nabokov, who was the father of the same name, who wrote Lolita. The man that he killed was a member of the first Russian Duma, which was the first that followed up the Tsarist, and he is an even more extreme monarchist than the Baron.
So is he he's a white Russian?
Yep, that would probably be the best way to sum it up. Yeah,
Right.
a white Russian of the most
Right, you said he was an monarchist.
monarchist. Yeah,
Monarchist, yeah.
I put my hand on the Baron's hand and I say, I tell you, this man impersonated Konstantinovich and pretended to hire us. And what are you saying? That you know this man?
he's like going, I do not, but Manfred, who is this? He goes, again, it is Peter, the man I told you, the man that has sacrificed, who murdered that blasphemy Vladimir, and he's ready to join up with us. I told you I had multiple parties out looking for this girl.
Why would this man impersonate a member of the Imperial Court of Russia in order to trick us into finding Anna?
And Peter looks at it, he's like, well, you must understand that I didn't know where your politics lied. And some people do not glory in the my acts of patriotism that I've committed.
But I don't glory in being lied to. Good day, Baron. If you need me, you give me a call, and I'm gonna go out in a big huff.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna look at this Bork, and I'm gonna say, well, you said it yourself. You owe me. You better pay us. And then I'm gonna walk out with Dr. Vogelshoika.
As you were getting out, you do see him pulling out a checkbook.
Okay, very good.
But as you continue on, he goes, oh, well, I guess they don't need the money.
Oh, well, I mean, I was send it to us, and I'll give him the address. Yeah, I'll give him the address of our place.
Of course. Okay.
I am so angry.
Yeah. How dare they?
All right. Our librarians.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we kind of got what we needed. So I don't know if we set up a place where we're gonna meet. Should we just go back to the cafe and wait for them?
The Bear Bakta?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can wait at the Beobacht. The only it depends on how long the morning goes. It was already getting a late morning, and she said his name was Johann. And now she says, in addition to the turban, he's wearing something that covers his neck. So
makes sense. We could just wait for him.
Yeah, depending on how long it is, I would like to make the acquaintance of this Johann.
And I would like to see how he reacts to Max.
Yeah, I mean, like to see is a complicated equation, yeah. but it might be something very informative. And honestly, it's a current time. I'm a little more concerned about the madness that is obsessing people than I'm about queens and kings and dukes and whatnot.
I agree.
Because I still can't get all the blood out from under my fingernails. You try to scratch too far, you get your own blood, and you can't tell whether it's your blood or the other blood.
Otto, my dear man, you must calm down. Take some deep breaths. Yeah, why don't we just stay in the library? I love to read. Max, come with me. We're going to go find some Freud.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are hanging out in the library waiting for Johann to show up. Okay. All right. When's the last time you had some nose candy, Astrid?
Well, so one of my neighbors deals.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's been a day. I don't think I did any last night. So I'm starting to withdraw.
You're starting to kind of like,
starting to fiend a little bit. Yeah.
Understood. Okay. All right. And Otto, are you staying in the library also?
Yeah, maybe I'll even watch at a little distance then, because if Astrid introduces Max to Johann, and I'm not right there, so we have a little bit of a test of what makes the thing change, if it's a thing and it's the same thing. And you know, I'll watch. I want to read a little bit about. I don't keep up with. Like, my interest in gossip is more like who has extra lard to sell, or what cheese is good, or who's got some decent schnapps that they made in the bathtub. I don't know from Russians, Poland, whatever. Just So I'm going to read up a little bit about these families.
Okay.
Wait.
So, that's good. And Hans and Gustav, where are you headed to?
Going back to the mailbox to tell everybody how angry I am. Outraged.
Yeah, how dare they lie to us and then not even care?
Yes. Yes, they were quite bothered by that. All right. So I gather you guys are waiting at the library there. Astrid is kind of got a little withdrawal. Johann does eventually show up. It's about his shift starts about 1. He has got his turban on and his turtleneck collar. He comes in, kind of got a off-kilter gait. He comes in and has a seat.
All right. So how do we want to do this? Max, do you and I want to go up first, and then Otto can come after, so that we can test his reaction?
Yeah, I think that was the plan. Let Otto stand back a bit. You and I go up. What should we ask for something, or we just want to say hi?
Well, I'm going to check out these books. I'll check out with him. Yeah.
Maybe to the books about Freud and Jung, you can add one about garden gnomes and one about cloth dolls.
Ah.
An amazing book on cloth dolls.
Yes. All right. So Max and I will walk up first, and we'll check out our books.
All right. So he looks up, and he's wearing gloves. He's like, interesting reading there, ma'am.
Oh, yes. I'm quite interested in psychology. It's good to see you again.
Oh, yes, I forgot you were here yesterday. Yes, looking up Polish nobility, if I remember.
Yes, I have quite an eclectic taste.
You do.
Yeah. You look like quite an eclectic person yourself.
I've tried. Yes.
Are you a Swami, or do you have an interest in the religions of the East?
No.
Oh, okay. It's just your turban. It's quite an interesting sight. I should know. I'm used to being an interesting sight around the streets of Berlin.
Oh, I injured my head, and I just didn't think people would want to see the bandage.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, well, I hope you're okay. What happened?
I don't remember.
Oh my goodness. Have you gone to a doctor?
Yes. He's the one that bandaged me up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad to see that you're still working. Were you able to get rest?
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Although they say if you've taken a blow to the head not to sleep, but I was so tired.
Yeah.
I had strange dreams, but that's probably from hurting myself.
Oh. I'm actually a student of dreams myself, hence the Freud. I've been hearing other people have been having strange dreams.
Oh, well, maybe it's something in the water.
Perhaps.
Is that going? So these will be due back in 3 weeks.
Thank you. Oh, and I forgot to introduce, this is my friend Max.
Oh, Max, wonderful to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
No books for you?
I'm.
We're sharing, yes.
We're sharing.
I'm educating him, yes.
Yes.
I understand.
Can I make like a psychology or spot hidden roll on him?
Yes, you may.
Check his state.
Do I notice anything familiar?
No, you don't. No.
I don't pass.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's a pleasure to see you again.
You too. I can't wait to see what other strange subject you're researching.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So we're gonna walk off. Well, I didn't see anything particularly strange. Perhaps he'll react differently when Otto comes by.
I didn't notice anything unusual, or he didn't seem anything similar to Carl or any of the other experiences we've had. So.
And Otto?
Watching them walk away, I feel quite disappointed and rather alone. And the fellow at the desk seems, obviously he's very covered up, but he seems pleasant, and I don't want to presume that the sickness that I am having is something that really is something beyond that. But I want to think of some test for him. So when they've gone, I go to the desk and I say, excuse me, I know it's very, very recent news, but I wonder if, the newspapers are up to date, but will there be do you think a longer, more complete a magazine article on this Karl Grossman and his death?
Oh, I think Grossman's magnum opus is yet to be written.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be a collaborative work then?
I think we will do very well, Otto.
Yeah. How soon is it until I start to have strange wounds then, do you think?
Oh, you have a few more hours.
Do you also think of killing yourself?
No, I've made peace. He's like, and he removes one of his glove, his right glove, And he holds up his hand. He's like going, I found the sucker pads quite useful.
Oh, to go up the wall then.
Yes.
Ah.
He's like going, your friend over there. He's cute. Too bad he wasn't vulnerable.
Why was I vulnerable, do you think?
Well, you bought the wrong sausage.
Yeah.
I did
Here.
too, but I've made peace with it.
Do you what do you call the woman, the goddess?
Oh, you mean Abezu?
Yeah, that sounds right.
She taught me all I needed to know.
Do you remember doing it? When you do it?
Once I've destroyed their mind, I do. Johann is gone.
Ah. So to whom do I speak then?
You might as well call me Carl. I thought it was cute how your African friend tried to bait me as if I'm foolish like that. I will enjoy fucking her corpse.
Well, my mind does
Tell
not get
me.
eaten.
No, it is not. But you were overpowered last night.
Yeah.
Has the blood washed off?
I think there's still some under my nails.
It does get in every cranny and hole, especially when you put things in parts that they're not meant to be.
I'm sorry for what Johann was and now must be, but I assure you that I will destroy this mannequin before you can occupy it.
We shall see. Don't worry, hundreds ate the sausage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in the blood, yeah? Blutwurst.
In the blood, yes. I like that.
So, well, perhaps I'll see you tonight, Johann. Or
I will
Carl.
see you. Carl, yes. Johann, while we're in the presence of the uninitiated.
Oh, that reminds me, Carl. Did you have to kill yourself to do this?
Oh, that was the price. That was the final move.
And then when you are done and in hell, you will get what? Just memories of the pleasure you take?
Ah, hell. Hell is a fantasy we told our children to keep them good.
Oh, I think hell is waking up next to the mangled, cold body of an innocent human being, Carl.
Ah, well, one man's hell is another man's heaven.
Yeah. Both of them maybe have flames.
Possibly. Don't worry, Otto. Don't worry. You won't remember this when I'm done with you.
You're a very comforting person to meet, Herr Grossmann.
Thank you. Any books? Oh, ma'am, any book that you'd like to check out?
a sanity roll still appropriate?
Yeah, we'll say yes. That's probably is appropriate in that situation.
That seems a little bit late, but let's see what 36 might still. I mean, until the great collapse, that would have been fine. Yeah, that's a fail, naturally.
1d4.
One does grow accustomed to things.
They do.
Oh. That's just a 1.
All right. Get the chill.
I mean, it's really the willpower required to kill yourself question as much as anything, I think, at that point.
Exactly. All right. Well, that got dark. Hans and Gustav, how's the bear Boctor?
Hey, don't talk to me. I'm just so angry.
Oh, lots of schnapps. That's how it is.
Yes.
Time to bring out the schnapps.
All right. As you are sitting there, you see a nice car pull up, and Manfred gets out. He comes over, and he seems almost frantic. And he comes over, and he's like going, Hans, Gustav, I must apologize. I did not know what Peter had misled you. He said he'd hired someone, but something that Hans said to the Baron about keeping an eye. After you left, one of the guardsmen, he went crazy and he tried to kill Anna again. He vomited all over Peter and stabbed him. He's like, I don't know what's going on, but you, Dr. Hans, and you seem to have had the best grip. And Hans, please, I understand that you were upset, but
You said that Bach is dead?
No, he's only severely injured. We've stabilized him. We're not interested in you for your, well, we appreciate your medical background, but that is not why the Baron wants you. He said that you had mentioned something about knowing how to pick good gods.
Mr. What's his last name?
Killinger.
Mr. Killinger. Or is it something Killinger? Whatever.
Von Killinger.
Killinger.
Manfred von Killinger.
Yeah.
Are you coming here to tell me that you need my help once again?
Yes.
Am I pure enough and political enough for you? I don't like to be lied to by anyone, especially when I'm doing an investigation.
I understand. Pure enough? You are a good German?
Let's go. Gustav, why don't you stay here and tell the others what's going on?
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. Well,
tell them not to eat any sausage.
Well, that's for damn sure.
All right, so they take you back to the Eden Hotel. You go back and forth to there. And you show up, and they all are armed now, but keeping an eye on each other because now they're starting to question who to trust. When you come in, you do see Peter Bork laying there. He'd been stabbed in the gut.
All right, I'll check out his wounds.
Okay.
And if he's responsive, I'll say, I don't like being lied to.
You can make a medicine roll.
All right. Oh. Maybe I'm not so interested in helping him. Where's my medicine? Medicine is a 65. I got an 89.
Yeah, he looks fine.
Well, I'll spend the luck just to make sure
okay.
that he's.
You can push it.
No,
Okay.
I'll spend the luck. I am a doctor.
Okay.
So
All right.
even though it might be bad for me later. All right.
Okay. All right. Yeah. He is not going to be mobile for a long time,
Yeah.
but he will survive.
No more pretending to be princes. You know, you could be in big trouble because I contacted Prince Gabriel Konstantinovich.
Oh, how is he?
I don't know how he is, but he knows that you're an impersonator.
Oh, he doesn't know who it was, though.
Certainly will. Now let me go check on Anna.
Okay.
And I got to talk to the Baron, of course, if he's there.
Baron, yep, the Baron's there. He's like going, Hans, Anna's fine. No one got near her. He's like going, reason I called you back, you mentioned that of assassin, something strange going on in the city.
Well, it let me check on Anna first.
Okay.
Then I will explain to you what I'm thinking.
Right.
And it's crazy. It's Looney Tunes, crazy. So
you didn't see what we saw.
All right. So I check on Anna.
Okay. As you go back toward Anna's door, on the wall, you see like this blood vomit all over the wall.
That's why I don't work at the hospital anymore.
You go back and Anna's there. She does look a little nervous, but when you come in, she sees a friendly face and she's like, "Oh, Dr. Hans, whatever will we do? The assassins are everywhere."
This would have been the same problem if you were growing up in the Imperial Russian courts. There's assassins everywhere. You just need to be careful. You hire enough people around you to keep you safe. All right, so I'll take care of her and then go back to the Baron.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell him, Baron, I talked about Karl Grossman.
Mm-hmm.
What I suspect is that he somehow put something in the sausage that he sold, and as crazy as it sounds, he seems to, even beyond the grave, control these people, and he's trying to get all of the women who he had hired as prostitutes and murder them, including Anna. And it's an ugly thing to talk about, but there it is.
That matches up with what Bork was telling me, that he had heard of this. You know how he was you're familiar with the Thule Society?
Am I?
Probably.
Occult society.
Occult society.
It's an occult society of some sort.
He's like, yes, he said that he had knew some of members of this, and that there's a book that tells us how to deal with this. I will probably mispronounce it. A De Vermis Mystere. Not positive. De Vermis. Yes, it is. Yes.
De Vermis Mysteries, the mysteries of the worm.
Yes, that's it. That he's like, he said that in that book there's a he had heard that there was a answer to that.
Where do you know where we can find this book? Does they have it at Berlin University?
From what I understand, it is at the library. They have it in a restricted section.
At the public library, or is it the university?
At the Berlin Library, but you must, obviously not available for the public, but if you have academic credentials, they will let you look at it. You can't take it with you.
Oh, so that's interesting. You say it has an answer to this. We were actually thinking of going to the place where Grossman made his sausage and eliminating the place. I think it has some tie. I don't know anything about this magic. I think it's all nonsense, but whatever's happening is coming from there.
It's like, oh, and I don't know if that would work or not, but this is beyond everything I've had. All I've wanted to do is reestablish the throne and be amply rewarded.
I understand. You have those who want to reestablish the German throne, those who want to establish the Polish throne, those who want to establish the Russian throne.
Yes, just to put the God ordained leaders back in place.
Yeah. They did well enough for so many years. Now, perhaps we have a combination democratic and, like they do in England.
Yeah, like that would ever work.
Yeah. Anyways, if you don't need me now, I must go back and form a plan of strategy for how to deal with this. Thank you for telling me about the book, though.
Very good.
I'll read the same.
All right. So, Max, Astrid, and Otto, what are you up to?
Well, Otto, did he react? What did you see?
Yes, how did it go?
What is the matter?
We have to go and find a cafe to sit in. Maybe someplace outdoors. No one can listen to me talk.
Why? Otto, are you well?
No, I'm not well. No, Astrid, no. Your friend,
down.
Yeah, no, I lie down in a bathtub full of cognac, maybe, yeah. With maybe enough razor blades to finish it off. Let's have a coffee or a little bit of schnapps. I have a lot to tell you, and not very much time.
Okay, all right, yes.
So, you'll be drinking schnapps, or do you want what?
Sure. Whatever you think would be best, Otto. What did he tell you?
A little something to stabilize the nerves is good. Bit of schnapps all around, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
you go to the Burbachter? Is that the cafe?
Yeah.
I like Gustav's there, and he's not just sitting by himself, like crying.
Right? Good to see you all.
Hey, Gustav,
yeah.
Otto, tell us what is wrong. What?
So, the interesting thing is the difference between me and Max. Poor Max. Max, the good news is you're not haunted.
Not?
No. It's angry at you. He's angry at you. But he's not inside you because you did not eat the sausage. We guessed right. He's in it. When I said to your friend Johan, who says I should call him Carl, he said I should call him Carl. He knew my name, yeah. I asked Mr. Grossman to see if I could get some little reaction from Johan, who maybe, doesn't know that he's sick, or maybe we're crazy, yeah. And so he's like, oh no, we're not done writing the story of Carl Grossman yet, Otto, right? Because he knows who I am, because he knows what happened last night. He asked me about the blood. The blood is in the sausage, yeah? And the blood, and he said, if I kill myself to stop it, it doesn't matter, because hundreds ate the sausage, yeah? And that's why they are everywhere they need to be, yeah? Because he fed so many people with the blood of his murder and torture and crime.
Otto, my dear man, it is okay. It's just okay. We're going to figure this out.
No, I think it's very much not okay.
I mean, Otto. You will be all right, but it's not okay. This is. I mean, this is. Look,
I'm trying to calm the man down.
I'm just saying, I can't put heads or tails of all that, but it's serious. I mean, it's serious. Don't patronize him. This is serious stuff here. But also, on the more the case front, so Hans and I, we went to see. We went back to the Eden Hotel to go see, and he took a look at Anna. She's all right, and we saw. And as we were leaving, who walks in but Prince Konstantinovich? Turns out he's actually a man by the name of Peter Sableski Bork, some sort of another monarchist, perhaps even more than the Baron. The man who gunned down Vladimir Belikov.
Vladimir, yeah.
It's a newspaper, like we fear it's a newspaper, so that we don't get paid. And also I have to kill myself before I start growing eyes on my neck.
Well, don't do that.
Utterly. Perhaps the doctor can explain, but oh my God, he was right. The doctor was right. It was in the sausage.
And then, of course, Manfred came back around just now before you all arrived, and he said that one of the militants now had attacked and stabbed Peter in an attempt to get Anna. So now Hans is going back with him. He told me to wait here to just tell you all what's going on, but I'm rather worried.
Mm-hmm. It's going to keep getting worse.
Yeah, he said hundreds. Maybe it's many hundreds. He seems to be able to reach anywhere he wishes.
I mean, how many people could have eaten one guy's sausage?
Well, there was a meat shortage.
Yeah, he was killing people for 30 years.
I mean, I suppose you're right.
I mean, I don't even think most of us bought sausage from him, from his little shitty cart. He sold it to restaurants, yeah? This is how you said it was in the suburb, right? He didn't ever leave Berlin. No, but he sold a string of human sausages here and one there to people like me who move things that are needed. Yeah, so I asked him how long it would be until I started to change physically, and he said it would only be hours. So I don't know.
Hours?
That's 30. I mean, do I believe the devil when he speaks to me?
That's
but
true.
also, there's no more Johann inside that thing now. It's just a Carl thing. Right? It eats everything. He said this to comfort me. Don't worry. When I've consumed your soul, you won't remember anything. Like, oh, okay, great news.
As much as I hate to say it, I think I'm starting to think I should contact my friend Krieg about procuring me a weapon, because this is I don't arm myself lightly, but this is we are in over our heads here.
But you can't tell unless they've got a little blinky over here, as I haven't noticed yet. You can't tell it's not a regular person, so we can't just shoot everyone.
Perhaps we'll have to take the doctor's advice and burn down Grossman's shed. Perhaps
yeah, maybe I will drink enough kerosene to become a little man bomb and walk in there myself and have a last cigarette.
Otto, you could just pour it, you know.
Yeah, I want to really burn it out, so.
Yeah. And a taxi pulls up, and you see Dr. Hans alight out of the taxi.
My friends, we have no time to lose. There is a book. There's a book that may solve this whole problem.
Book?
What kind of book?
It is a book that is kept at the Berlin Library. A book of magic that Karl Grossman must have used in order to cause this to happen. I think I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the sausage.
Yeah, it does have something to do with the sausage.
Yeah, that's what I think, yeah.
Doctor, you are right. We have confirmed the sausage theory. I'm assuming this book is not easily accessible if it contains such powerful information.
Well, since the library is not open all night long, we break in and get the book.
Is it at the library?
Apparently, yes.
Well, wunderbar.
In the restricted section. How was you went to the library this evening?
Yeah, and
What is wrong with Otto?
we shall explain it here in a moment. But this book, what, is it written in German? Is it?
I don't know. It is
accessible?
called De Vermis Mysteries, which is a Latin name, meaning the mysteries of the worm.
Do any of us know Latin?
I know Latin pretty well.
Oh.
And
Oh,
I think I speak German. Yeah, I speak German.
it's a name like that.
I would hope.
Okay. Well, all right. So we have a plan, but unfortunately, and I'll just go ahead and explain everything to Dr. Hans about.
But then we have no time to lose.
Okay, but I need to explain what's going on with you and all that. I'll say, what do you think, Doctor? Should we read this book first, or Otto does not have much time if we believe?
I think we should burn the shrine of the Grossman monster to the ground, and I will get the book, and we will find the magic spell to stop this from happening, so that poor Otto will be back to normal.
Yeah.
Should we do first?
Well, of course, what if the spell says go and take the 100 murdered gnome ghosts and put them in a circle and take them to the mountaintop and put them in a circle and then put the feathers of the eagle in the middle? Like, if we destroy something that we need to fix, then we can't fix it. But again, also I can throw myself in the Spray River, and then we have one fewer assassin to worry about.
That's not going to help anything.
Well, maybe I will be able to murder one fewer person and not have my soul eaten out of my head.
So we will not let that happen to you.
All right. Well, maybe we get the firearms you talk about, and everyone has one except me, so that when my eyes go Grossman big, then we make it end quickly, yeah? Because I'm not going to live in that with him. You know, I know what he lives in some place that is. He's got a name for the woman, or the beautiful woman who's all made of black light. It's a maybe Arab word or something. Abizu. He said it very magic. It's fucking shit.
All right. So we will close out with Otto. Give me a power roll.
Tell me now. So dark. So dramatic. I rolled a 10. I am powerful.
All right. That is a extreme?
Yes. 12 is the limit, so yeah.
All right. So for a brief moment, you feel this pressure in your brain, but you're able to push it back, and you feel that you dodged starting a mutation starting through sheer force of will.
All right.
And with that, we will close out the session.
Really good.
Yeah, that was great. That was wonderful. Thank you, Keith. Yeah, that was a great session.
Our players included John Dos Passos, David Gastaway, Troy Wheeldryer, Julian Arba, and myself, with Keith Craig as the Keeper of the Secrets. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with this show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. We do have a new patron, Eric, I'm probably going to pronounce it incorrectly. Eric Slesgard has pledged $3 a month to our club. Thank you very much, Eric. If you would like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, viel Glück und viel Spaß.
Hab ich sie wieder zugedeckt. Da hilft nur aufzustehen und mal was anderes sehen, weil man sonst blind werden kann. So fing es an. Drum, wenn du Mitleid kennst mit'm armen Nachtgespenst, dann schließ nicht ab die Tür, nein, öffne sie mir.